This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hey, good morning. As we get started, I realize I am out of uniform. I don't have my jacket with my pocket silk. It's my trademark, you know.
I don't think that we can start the show. I really think we need to stop down and try this all over again, but we're live, so I don't think we can do that.
Sitting here reading, and I thought, hey, we're going hot on television, and I don't have my uniform on. Kind of like I forgot my shoulder pads.
We'll just call it a casual Thursday is what it is. How's that?
I like that. My Monday is Thursday, but my Friday will be Friday.
Yeah, how did you work that out?
I like the sound of that.
That's kind of great.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm Bill Cody. That's Kelly Sutton. Eric Markham is in for Charlie Mattos this morning. There's Lexi Carter back there. She's our studio director today. Annie and I with the morning off. And Rock Solid Roberts, Jeff Roberts, is in master control here at the Acuff House.
Rock Solid Roberts.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like a wrestler name.
Yeah,
Rock Solid.
So when he leaves here and he goes and he wrestles by a different name and he wears a mask, that's who's behind the mask. Oh. Yeah, you know how they do like in Mexican wrestling, they wear masks. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. Mm-hmm. Jeff Roberts as Rock Solid Roberts.
Usually those are the guys that do all the flips off the top rope.
True.
They're the best ones. Rey Mysterio is the best.
Yeah. And they have very short-lived careers.
This is true. Yeah.
Did I hear you say that your Purdue Boilermaker, Zach Edey, did not play? Why do you not play a man who's 7'5" tall?
He's suffering from ankle soreness. And I don't know how, if he only has to get 2 inches off the ground in order to dunk the ball or get a rebound. I don't know how those. I mean, I guess you're carrying around a lot of weight running up and down that
well,
court.
I guess.
That's some ankle, though.
Right, yeah.
How tall is he? Is he 7'5"?
Well, he entered Purdue at like 7'1" or 7'2", and in his mid to like right around the end of his career, gained another 2 to 3 inches while he was at Purdue. So I think he went into the draft at 7'4" or 7'5".
Do they put him on a stretcher, like to stretch him out, like a taffy pull? You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of one of those medieval torture devices. They're like, let's see how much taller we can make him.
Well, in my time off, I came across some interesting driving statistics, commutes, angry drivers, commute times, that sort of thing. So hang on, I'll get to that a little bit. It's interesting reading. At least I thought it was.
How long is your commute?
Because 35 minutes, 40.
Mine's about the same.
40 if I'm obeying the speed limit is comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
That feels
32 if
you're not.
Things are going really well. Good morning, officer.
The only thing that slows me down now is we have to come up to the guard shack and actually stop before we can come back.
Yeah.
And there are some mornings I'm just waving to him. Hey, I'm not going to really stop this morning because I got to get through here because I've got 6 minutes.
I don't know if you still have it up or not, but my favorite social media post from Kelly Sutton all time is where you see Kelly's face come up, and then she brings the phone up higher and higher, and she's got this just very deadpan look, and she comes up higher, and then you can see the blue lights in the rearview mirror. It is beautiful. It's like you were so calm and collected, like, just do what you got to do, and I got somewhere to be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. No, I did not realize how fast I was going. I appreciate your concern. Yes, I will slow down. Oh, bless it.
That's priceless.
It's crazy. All right, coming up in just a little bit in entertainment headlines, we got a lot to talk about. Post Malone debuting some unreleased songs. He had a Nashville show that happened a little earlier in the week. I've got all the scoop on that coming up for you. Also, this is great. Luke Bryan just celebrated a birthday, but the shout outs that he got were people doing Luke Bryan imitations or other imitations, which was kind of spot on. Love that. So stay tuned. That's coming up. And we have some video and some audio for you to hear Brad Tercey's stuff. His new solo project comes out tomorrow. It's called Parallel Love. I'll play that for you coming up in a little bit.
I was with Lauren Elena, among other stars, last. Normally when we hear Levi, we're wrapping the show. Is there something we need to know, Eric?
Little cameo.
It's called a touchscreen, Bill.
All the buttons, all the things.
Welcome, singer, songwriter, performer James House to Coffee, Country, and Cody. Good to see you, smiling face. Been too long, man.
Yeah, too long.
And
this beautiful digs here. This is great.
Welcome. This is Mr. Acuff's house where he lived.
I know. It's
for 40 years. Well, 1984 until he passed in 92.
Right. I got to meet him just briefly, and it was really great. Stood backstage with him here, I think. And he's holding court that day.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to talk?
Just for briefly, yeah. He just was very sweet, very quiet, but my parents got to meet him, so yeah.
So you were playing the Opry? Was that the occasion?
No, I was just visiting, so that was great. I wouldn't be able to play that night, but it was great to meet him, and yeah, the history. I was always taken back with the history of Nashville, so it was great to be here. I just had moved here.
From California?
Yeah, from California. So
I saw this strange, I never knew this about you. You coached Dustin Hoffman in something?
What?
Well, it was one of those. I had a bunch of different gigs out in L.A.
Okay.
One of them was I sang the lead vocals to a Julio Iglesias album, the whole one in English, so he could listen in one ear to the enunciation. So that was one of my gigs. I did a lot of jingles. I was actually sang they were doing a play on Zorro, and I played the part of Zorro with the L.A. Philharmonic. So they were trying. That's how they were trying to get the gig, and then they were doing the movie Ishtar. I was asked to come over and do backgrounds on some of the songs they were doing, and Dustin Hoffman was having trouble. So my friend said, "Could you help him?" So yeah, I sat there for a couple of hours with him, going, "Hello Ishtar," and he was, "Hello,"
Wow.
It was just one of those great moments. It was great because he was doing all his characters outside, taking breaks and stuff. So he was being Tootsie and all that. I'm walking here. He was really great about doing all his characters.
Oh, that's hilarious. So what was the spark that got you to Nashville?
I grew up on country, but I played rock and stuff, so it was everything. And I was watching the CMA Awards on the night in October of '87, and a friend of mine had suggested a title to me just before they called "Hard Times for an Honest Man," and I had not really written any country stuff. So that night I saw the CMAs and went, "Oh, I think I've got an idea." So I stayed up from midnight till 6 a.m. and wrote that song. And played it for my publisher. Anyway, it found its way out here to Nashville to Tony Brown, and he signed me to a record deal.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's how that worked.
How serendipitous is that?
That's the 90s country era.
Yeah, I got here in '89. Yeah.
Okay.
Right when I got here. Yeah.
All right.
So that was an amazing time. I got to meet a lot of the heroes who were still here, and Waylon and Willie, all the guys.
You mentioned growing up on the West Coast.
Yes.
Was it the Bakersfield influence for you?
You could time our Saturday nights as a kid from a Buck Owens record. My parents, they'd put us in the bedroom watching TV, and they would, cut a rug out in the living room, listening to "I'm Gonna," Tiger. And then they were drinking a little too much probably at times, and they start arguing, and they're gonna get divorced. And we go back in, all of a sudden you hear "together" again, So we're like, okay, we're good. So that was my Saturday nights in Sacramento.
My heart skips a beat.
Oh yeah, so it's just great music, and I'd be going, "Well, don't you like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles?" And my uncle would say, "Well, he just played Carnegie Hall." I was talking about Buck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah. So that was that was all around me, all that music. So.
Because you mentioned the LA years, but Sacramento was home as a kid.
It was Southern Oregon, and then we moved to Sacramento, and then from there it was, LA was the quickest place to get to try to do this crazy business.
The newest members of the Grand Ole Opry family is the first native Californian to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry, because a lot of people assume it was Buck and Merle, but they weren't Opry members. Wow. John Party, who grew up in Dixon, just outside Sacramento.
Just outside, there it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sacramento, there was a lot of talent. Lee Greenwood grew up there, so that was his home, and it's more country music. The Oklahoma natives come in. They called the Okies.
Yeah.
Which was my mother's family. That side of the family had come out there in the 30s and 40s. So yeah.
I remember I knew I would love John Party forever when I first met him and I said, man, that's near Cal Davis, isn't it? Dixon, near Cal Davis, which is the big ag school in California, in the state school program. And he goes, man, you ever seen the hog barn at Cal Davis? I thought, I'm going to love this guy.
I used to play Davis a lot. That was one of my places I used to go play gigs at. And they had the greatest fair, too, of course.
Yes.
The two-headed calf. They had the little experiment going on in the back somewhere.
So tell me about those early bands and some of the names and what you were playing.
Yeah, well, the house band was pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Occasionally we call ourselves Free Beer. That usually packed the place. And, where's the beer? No, that's us. That's the band. So I was doing the acoustic deal as a kid when I got out of high school. I was going to college, but I was doing this immediately, and this took over. I was working 7 nights a week between Sacramento and Davis and Chico and Lake Tahoe, and did that for a couple of years, just doing the acoustic guitar stuff. And then from that, I put a band together, and we got signed to Warner Brothers. And we ended up with a band name called Prisoner. That's what that was. And, we spent a couple of years with that group doing, this is what the story's in the book about. So
Yeah.
I kind of chronicle each little chapter with 4 or 5 minute story and then a song about it. That's where the title Lost in Laurel Canyon came from. It was us going down there and getting a full dose of Los Angeles music business. We were just kids.
And for people who don't know geography, what is Laurel Canyon?
Well, it was the place where Joni Mitchell and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Jackson Browne, they all lived. So in our hearts, in our minds, it was like, this is Valhalla. We're just going to get there, and the songs will come to us, and we'll be great.
It was Avalon.
Yeah, and it's just a canyon of houses.
Yeah.
In fact, my buddy Joe Bonamassa lives there still.
Yeah.
I think he lives out there now. But yeah.
Well, there's a new Audible exclusive audio book from our friend James House, Lost in Laurel Canyon, that you referenced. And part of what you talked about is the journey in this audio book, a musical journey of stories and songs from a 50-year career with an artist and hit songwriter, successful with Diamond Rio.
Where'd the time go?
Yeah, and of course, we'll hear from Martina McBride as we conclude this first segment with you.
Right.
But was the California connection, did that make the Dwight Yoakam Ain't That Lonely
No,
Yet?
that happened when I was out here.
Yeah,
so it's
but
funny.
did
You
it-
leave town and then things go back. But I remember seeing Dwight out there at the
Okay.
Palomino Club.
Oh, yeah.
God, this is great. This guy's really tearing it up in a real fun fashion, taking the old style and putting some punch to it. So that had a lot. That was inspirational. I went to the Palomino a lot. That was that was the greatest country club in L.A.
What would you compare it to in Nashville?
Oh, hard to say. Everybody played in the corner. So there was no backstage or something. You had to actually walk through the audience. And I played a hoot night, which they call just go up and, you sign up and go play. And I lost to an all-girl tuba band. I gotta say they were better. It was something to see 5 girls playing tubas.
Wow.
So where is Lost in Laurel Canyon available? Where can people
It's on
get it,
Audible.
Jim?
So you can go to Amazon, which owns Audible and stuff. And I love audiobooks. I listen to them a lot,
Me
and
too.
a lot of biographies. And I just thought it would be a really interesting format to do stories in a song, because I do them at the Bluebird and all that. That's what I do pretty much now when I tour, tell stories like we do here, and then sing the song. So I just did, each song kind of correlates with the story before it, and it's all brand new material. The albums will be out later in the year too. I'll be just putting the album out, but I just thought it would be fun to do, and the response has been phenomenal. So.
All right, we were laughing, chuckling off the air about Broken Wing,
Right.
and how every young girl singer wants to sing and oversing Broken Wing.
Right.
And somebody put together a collection of the high notes.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine put the collection of, because he was host of one of the talent shows.
Yeah.
And a lot of the girls were coming on there and singing, and they were taping, and so he just edited it. Each line is a different girl, so it's kind of, she loved him like he was the last man on earth. So it's just it's a jewel of a recording.
There's really only
But
one person
in
that
my heart, I'm
sings it.
like, how grateful do you have to,
Sure.
grateful for that. So, God bless him. It's never been sung better than Martina. It just is not.
You just worked the Opry with her.
I did. She sounds great. I was talking to her backstage. She looks amazing, and we had fun. And then I look over, and there's John. He's got his camera out, and he's over there videoing like just a proud husband,
Oh,
like
my
they hadn't
goodness.
been doing it for years.
After all this
It was
time.
so sweet.
I was told she sang that last note about 10 times to get it right.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah.
And where did Broken Wing come? Did you come to town with that, or did
No,
you write it
that was
after you
written
got
in
here?
'97. I was here. I was entrenched. It was actually my sister was going through this is a personal story, but there was a guy that was not treating her well, so I just kind of felt like I needed to write something. And I wasn't trying to write a hit or anything, so I was meeting up with Sam Hogan and Phil Barnhart that day. And we were over here at Sony Tree at the Writers Place, Writers Hall, where we all write. I think Bill Anderson still goes over there still. And the song just kind of poured out that day. And I knew it when we finished it, because we did the whole write it and demoed it in one day. I mean, I sang the Black Choir is all me on the demo,
Yeah.
And with a broken wing, I'm doing all those voices.
That's funny.
But at the end of the day, I thought this if a female singer does this, it'll be phenomenal. And sure enough, I went on the road and I get the call that Martina just had cut this. And I get back into town because I was out touring and come back in and somebody handed me the CD. Remember CDs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They handed me the CD and I'm driving down 16th Avenue way and I popped it in my car. And I just about drove off the road. It was so good. And I thought, well, this is going to change things. So.
Did you have a female in mind other than Martina when you wrote it?
No, I didn't. I really, Faith Hill had it on hold for a moment. There was Faith and Martina was great, but it was perfect for Martina. But what she was singing about and stuff. And Paul Worley was a phenomenal producer. So I knew it was, when I'd heard about it, I went, oh, this is going to be good.
James House sharing his story this morning, and also Kelly Sutton.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. Last night was a fun night. Got to go over to Third Man Records, which is Jack White's place. Mm-hmm. And I've been in there before. It is very eclectic, much like Jack. And there is a very fun little room. It's called the Blue Room. Acoustically, it is amazing. Anytime that you're looking for a place where you're going to sample your music for people, you're looking for a perfect little room. The Blue Room is one of those. It sounds really, really nice. So Brad Tercey has a new solo project. It actually drops tomorrow. It's called Parallel Love. And this is really a collection of songs that he's had over the past, I don't know how many years. He's been a writer. He came to town. He was a writer first. He was also in another band. I can't remember the first name of it, but it's something Daisy. It was very cute. So
Shadaisy?
No, it wasn't Shadaisy. I'll find it. But he was in a few other bands, came to town, songwriter, lots of hits, then teams up with the rest of the guys in Old Dominion who were also really prolific songwriters on their own, and they become Old Dominion. But he had all these songs that just didn't fit. They didn't fit what Old Dominion would do on an album. So he kind of kept those to himself, and he said, this would be kind of cool if I put this out as my own project. And the band was like, yes, do it. And his label was like, yes, do it. So he did. I really dig it. So super happy for our friend Brad Tercey. Again, it comes out tomorrow. Take a listen to it. Each one of the songs is kind of its own thing. That one was very country. He's got a few that are kind of bluesy. He's got one that I said was really yachty, which, I like that, yacht rock. That's kind of my thing. So, yeah. Very yachty. Thank you very much, Brad Tercey. And congratulations to you. Luke Bryan had a birthday this week, y'all. It was a big one. Turned 48 on Wednesday. And a lot of people decided they were going to do a little birthday shout out for him by doing impersonations of him. This was actually, this was posted on CMT, on CMT's Instagram. The interviewer just said, hey, do you do any impersonations? Well, these are some of our favorites doing their best Luke Bryan. Take a listen.
Do you do any celebrity impressions?
Yes. Hey guys, this is Luke Bryan on CMT.
Hey y'all, it's me, Luke Bryan.
Hey y'all, it's Luke Bryan. Welcome to B&A International Airport.
Hey, just give them what they want, man. If you want you to shake your butt, you just gotta get up there. Buddy, that's just what you gotta do.
Biggest thing people think, because I'm on American Idol, that I'm moving to California, but listen, I'm a peanut farmer from Georgia. I ain't got deer in L.A. It's the best Luke Bryan impression I got.
It's nice to know to have such an impressionable voice. That was awesome, guys. Pretty good. I think Jansen might have won.
So for everyone listening, it was Chris Jansen. Then we had Megan Patrick. Then we had the ladies of Tiger Lily Gold. Then Connor Smith doing the whole just give them what they want, shake your butt. And then the last one was Michael Ray. So that was pretty good. Happy birthday, by the way.
No deer in L.A.
I love the one that she
I
said.
Can't move there. They don't have any deer in L.A.
Welcome to B&A International Airport. That is still one of my goals in my life. It is on my bucket list.
To do a welcome message at the airport?
I want to do a welcome message at the airport. I don't know why that is. There are some random things on the bucket list, and that is at the top. So B&A, if you're listening, give me a call. I would love to do one of those announcements for you. Mine would probably be like the, if you see something, say something kind of thing. If it looks awkward, then report it.
Well, Kelly's at the airport as we wrap up on the other side of the break. Cities that drive the most. Nashville, you're number 4 in America.
Oh.
And cities that drive the least. I'll have those answers. And we'll wrap up next.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Our resident gypsy is in the house. She is back. Twinnie, welcome to Coffee Country and Cody again, but in a new location, our new studio home in the Acuff house.
I know, you've just told me about what I'm sitting on. This is amazing. The piece of the Opry stage, right?
The Ryman Auditorium stage, from which the circle that people know, our famous Opry circle where you stand when you perform, same wood that came from is the wood that you're sitting on this morning.
It's amazing. It's so nice.
Are you feeling
Isn't it? I love it.
You're feeling the ghost of Hank Williams
You know,
or something?
WSM is like really special for me because it was my first time on American radio, and I feel like we manifested my Opry debut.
Yes, you did.
So I'm like, what can I manifest this time?
Listen, there's some good vibes up in here. Are you kidding?
Have you played the Ryman?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there you go.
There it is.
I'm manifesting me playing at the Ryman.
I love that. Opry debut was in November because it was right around my birthday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, last year.
Oh, nice. Way to drop that in there.
Yes.
Right around my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, I remembered. It was like that whole week because we were just talking about all the wonderful things that were happening for you.
Yeah.
And that was so fun.
I loved it. It was awesome. Thank you for being a part of that.
It was incredible to watch, but how did it feel? Because and now you've had time to soak it in and think about it and relive it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember it, so I'm like, I need to do it again.
Okay.
So let's do it again. No, honestly, it was like probably the most present I've ever felt. I wasn't really that nervous. My dress, my stylist, Kennedy, I was like, I want to look like I'm getting married without the groom. And it was just like, I don't know whether you saw my outfit, but it was pretty special. And Jamie Johnson got me on the Opry as well. And it was just a really special night with all my friends. I was like, is this real life? I think this is real life. Kept having to pinch myself.
So where did you meet Jamie and become friends?
I met Jamie randomly at a release party, and we just got talking, and he was like, oh, so what do you do? And I was like, I'm a singer. And obviously he's heard that before. So I actually didn't say I was a singer at first. His back was hurting, and I think I told him I was a chiropractor or something like that. And he appreciated my sense of humor. So we just got chatting, and he was like, oh yeah, send me some of your music. And I mentioned I wanted to play. It'd been a dream of mine to play the Opry, obviously. Before my grandma and my granddad passed, they're quite old. I was like, I'd love to fly them over. And he was the one that kind of made it happen, along with some other friends like Leslie Fram and a few other people. So it was really special. He called me, and I was like, what? Yeah. And then Charles Kelly confirmed it at Apple Radio. So it was amazing, honestly. I still can't believe it happened. So
that's awesome.
So when did you get to town? What year?
About just over a year ago.
Okay.
I've lived here.
So you came after the pandemic?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I actually lived here for a little bit in the pandemic. For about 3 months, and then went back, and then I came back again. You guys couldn't get rid of me. I was like, I'm staying. So yeah, I came about a year ago, and honestly, just like, you know what this community is like. I came off the back of a breakup, a long breakup, long-term relationship, which was 10 years, and it ended really badly. Hence, Blue Hour, Sad Girl EP, and they just wrapped their arms around me, and I think they really celebrated me for being me. I'm a bit outside the box. I mean, I am a gypsy from England that sings country pop music that most of the time people don't understand what I'm actually saying. So,
are you familiar with a Bob McDill song? Bob just went into the Country Music Hall of Fame because he was already in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And I remember playing this early in my radio career in the 70s called I Recall a Gypsy Woman.
Oh,
have you ever heard it?
To me. No, I'm about to.
Oh, you need to hear it. And Don Williams has the hit version that people would know. Of course, Bob probably did the demo on it originally. I recall a gypsy woman, silver spangles in her eyes. One of the lines in the song. Ivory skin against the moonlight and the taste of life's sweet wine. Mm-hmm. He was a boy of 17.
Oh. I don't think we do that anymore. I think now.
Hey, they were doing it in the 70s here, Kelly.
I don't think we do that anymore.
Yeah.
I think now it's 18 or above, please.
That's your go find today, Twinnie. That's your go find today. I recall a gypsy woman.
Okay.
Don Williams.
I do love the fact that you found your community so easily when you came here, because I think that is really a part of people when they come here. You have to find your people. You have to find the people that you feel comfortable writing with and, you know, producing your music and getting that team around you, but also just your community. And when you have people like that are supporting you and rooting you on, it just makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah. I mean, I'd been coming here back and forth for like 7 years. So it wasn't like I was like kind of new to town. I had a lot of friends here. And I do feel like some of my first ever trips were like staying with people like Dave and Annie Barnes and Busby and Jess and Lucy Silvers and John Oswald. So I feel like I really kind of bypassed, like I was like straight in. But you know, obviously they can only get you in a room like once and then it's up to you. So thankfully I just kept getting in those rooms. I think people are more intrigued to like, what did she say? What, like, I can't understand her. I'm here for comedy morale, guys.
Everyone loves you. Everyone that has met you loves you.
Oh,
it's
same with you.
It's very true.
Like attracts like. You know what I mean, girl?
We love it. I get so excited when I get to see you. And I didn't get to connect with you. You were at Stagecoach.
Yes.
Were you? Yeah.
Yes.
And we never met. I was like on the other side of the field. It's a big place.
Yeah. People are like, have you got a twin? Because you seem to be everywhere. I was like, no, I am a true gypsy. I'm like everywhere. I'm getting tired though. I'm about to go back to England for something special. Which,
can we talk about it? She's looking at management.
Maybe just let's say I'm. I act obviously as well.
Yeah.
Something to do with that. But
she's gonna be in a movie.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
So I really love art. I think that's what attracted me so much to country music, because I love the lyrics and the storytelling. I grew up on people like Judy Garland and Frank Sinatra, Fred Astaire, you know, them old MGM movies. So I love anything that kind of just like I can express myself through any kind of art. So this will be fun.
Oh, good.
She's going to be, because, you know, there was a twist at the end of the last 007 James Bond movie where Bond is a woman.
Oh, really? Okay.
007 is a woman.
About time.
Named Twinnie.
Well, then the movie will only be 30 minutes long because she'll get it solved in 30 minutes.
Who lives this other life secretly in Nashville as a singer-songwriter.
Oh, undercover agent. I love this.
Can you imagine?
Amazing.
I had you all scoped out. I knew where you lived, everything.
So good.
I mean, it actually would be quite on brand for everything that I've been writing, you know, Crazy Ex, just like her. So
listen, work on the screenplay next.
Yeah,
when in your downtime, when
Hollywood
you have all this.
Gypsy.
I like that.
I recall a gypsy woman.
Oh no!
Gypsy lady, I hear your laughter, and it dances in my head, while my tender wife and babies slumber softly in their beds.
Oh my!
Hey, that'll get you to the Hall of Fame.
I guess
in this town.
We love you, Bob.
I recall a gypsy woman, and you may recall Twnnie has been here before, and it's got brand new music. You referenced it just a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. Tell us about Blue Hour After Dark, which is available now wherever you get your music. It is there.
Yeah, so I did 2 parts to Blue Hour because I was so heartbroken. I had so many sad songs. So it came out on the 28th of June, and this is the second installment. And I think there might be an album later on in the year. I had many sad songs and some angry songs. And yeah.
Do you have any murder ballads? You know,
I do actually.
Yes.
I might actually play that today.
We love a murder ballad in the morning.
What are we going to play? What are we going to play first that you said?
Well, I used to date a rock star back in the day, a very, very long time ago, and we broke up. And a few months later, I was like, I heard this song on the radio, and I was like, that's definitely about me, and I definitely deserve 25% of that song. Never got 25% of the song, but
That's the greatest love story, and that's a real life story from Twnnie and her mom and stepfather. And how long did you say? 20, nearly 20 years?
They've been together now 17 years, but they met when they were really young. She'd broken up with my dad. He'd broken up with his girlfriend. They had a kiss. And actually, I have to thank the postman. Do you call them postmen here?
Mailman.
Mailman, yeah. She sent him a letter and it never got there. And thank Oh, Lord, it didn't, because I wouldn't be here. So she got married to my dad. He got married to his girlfriend, and then 20 years later, they got divorced, and then ended up back together.
So where does your gypsy heritage come from? Your dad's
My dad's side
yeah.
of the family, yeah, all Romany gypsies. So I traveled around Europe, saw lots of different cultures. It was really cool growing up, but also I feel like it was really hard to like fit in. I feel like kids have this problem anyway. You always want to be liked by everyone, and you're like, and as soon as you get older, it takes a long time to figure out that stuff. Even I struggle sometimes. I'm like, oh, but I want them to like me. But then I think like just being authentically yourself, I really struggled with that because I didn't know who to be in. We called non-travelers gorges. We have our own language. It's called Rumness. It's gypsy language. You might have heard it on Peaky Blinders or Snatch or something like that. But my mum's completely a non-traveler and my dad is. So it's like these two worlds clashing, which I feel like I've kind of like, emulated in my adult life with Nashville and England, country music, pop. Like it's just, yeah.
You like the mixed messages.
Apparently so. I like to be me. So I like what I like, and I don't really tend to conform to fit in a box. So
what is it like to be a gypsy, day-to-day life? What's different about that?
Well, obviously I didn't take the gypsy path, but like some girls don't go to school. They're typically the homemakers, and the guys go out to work. It's very like conservative, and Tyson Fury. I don't know whether you know that boxer. He's a gypsy. My sister-in-law is related to him. Like it's just it reminds me honestly a bit like Nashville. I think that's why I gravitated towards Nashville and the community, because everybody kind of looks out for each other. I only have to make one phone call if I'm in trouble or I need anything, and there's a whole like network, but like the true values of like community and love and family are very, very strong. They're very religious people. I think there's for me, I want to be a good role model for that community, because growing up there was no gypsy women on TV or on the radio, not that I knew of. So showcasing that and highlighting that, because at school statistically they don't mix well because they get bullied and they don't have them opportunities. And because my mum was a gorger, non-traveler, she made me go to school, which I hated it. I hated school. And then I left when I was 16 and went to a music, dance, drama school. But yeah, I think the Opry was a really great moment for me, because I made history being the first Romany gypsy to do that. And I just want to continue to show these young women and young men that, you can't, no matter where you're from, you can do that. So,
and you can be a Romany gypsy singing the national anthem at a Titans game. Is that happening?
Yes. Yes. In October. So we've got a bit of ways to go yet. So yeah, I just never thought that I would get to sing the American national anthem, because obviously, y'all, I'm just gonna have to pretend I talk like this. So I'm so happy to be here. But yeah, I'm really nervous about it. It's a really big deal. Yeah. Obviously, I want to honor it and I want to do a really good job. And I'm just, as long as I don't forget the words and I sound okay, just in tune, no frills, like I'll just be fine.
Yeah, straightforward.
I'm scared about it now. I've got anxiety. I'm sweating.
You'll get it. It'll be fine.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. Just remember, when you're in that stadium, don't stop. I mean, you're going to have in-ears though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, make sure, because of the echo. It's such a weird delay. So just start it, close your eyes, sing it, keep your ears in the whole time.
I've done the national anthem a couple of times back home at Wembley.
Oh yeah, okay.
Tottenham. Actually, the Tottenham I was the first to do it. It was on top of the glass roof of the stadium, and I'm scared of heights. And the conductor, I was like, I don't know how good do you think my eyesight is? He's like, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, he's literally about this small. I'm like, I can't. So I hear the band coming out, and I'm like, God save our gracious.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, God, please save me and do not let me fall off this ring.
Yay!
Twinnie, you're a delight. You just,
Thank you.
You just bring such happiness to the room, and thank you for coming to see us again.
It was been amazing to see you guys. Thank you for being so good to me. I really appreciate it.
And Blue Hour After Dark, available wherever you get your music. You'll find it there. And our special guest this morning, Twnnie, on Coffee, Country, and Cody.